It was almost midnight in the tall glass tower of Lawson Enterprises. The city lights shimmered below like a sea of stars, but inside the office, the mood was tense. Samantha Lawson, the company's CEO, leaned back in her leather chair, exhausted after another 14-hour day. Her eyelids grew heavy as the numbers on her laptop screen blurred together. That's when she heard a soft knock at the door, and a man's hesitant voice. "Ms. Lawson? You wanted to see me before I head out?" It was Daniel, one of the company's financial analysts. A single dad, known for coming in early, staying late, and somehow never complaining. But tonight, Samantha had something on her mind, something that had nothing to do with spreadsheets. Before we dive into this emotional story of compassion and courage, make sure to subscribe to Kindness in Action, where we share true and inspiring stories that remind us of the goodness still alive in this world. If this story touches your heart, please like, comment, and share it, because kindness grows when we spread it. Samantha studied Daniel for a moment. His tie was slightly loosened, his eyes weary but alert. She'd overheard some employees talking earlier that day. Someone had been leaving small envelopes of cash for janitors and cafeteria staff, each with a note that read, "You are appreciated." No one knew who it was. But Samantha had her suspicions. She wanted to know if it was Daniel. So she came up with a strange plan. When he entered her office, she decided she would pretend to fall asleep at her desk. She wanted to see what kind of person he really was when no one was watching. Daniel walked in quietly, holding a folder. He noticed her head tilted slightly to the side, eyes closed, breathing soft. "Ms. Lawson," he whispered. No response. He hesitated, unsure whether to leave the folder on her desk or wake her. Then, something unexpected happened. He noticed her laptop screen, an open document showing the company's latest quarterly losses. The numbers weren't good. Daniel sighed softly. "Even she looks tired," he murmured under his breath. "Guess even CEOs are human." Samantha, still pretending to be asleep, felt a pang in her chest. She hadn't heard anyone speak about her with such empathy in a long time. Then Daniel reached into his pocket. Samantha's heart raced. What was he doing? He pulled out his wallet, a worn, brown leather one, clearly years old. From it, he took out a small folded note and a $20 bill. He slipped them under her keyboard. Samantha's breath caught. She couldn't move. Then he quietly said, "Someone helped me when I had nothing. They told me to pay it forward. You look like you could use a little kindness too, even if it's just a small reminder." And with that, he turned off the desk lamp so the room wouldn't be too bright and quietly left. When the door clicked shut, Samantha opened her eyes. Her throat tightened as she picked up the note. It read, "You do so much for everyone else. Don't forget to rest. The world still needs your light." Her eyes filled with tears. This man, who barely made enough to support his young daughter, had just given her, his boss, a $20 bill and a reminder that she wasn't alone. The next morning, Daniel arrived early as usual. He didn't expect anything out of the ordinary. But when he stepped into his cubicle, he froze. There, sitting on his desk, was a brand new laptop, a note, and a coffee cup with his name on it, "For the man who reminded me what leadership really means. You've been promoted to senior analyst. And yes, keep your 20, it's priceless." He blinked in disbelief. His eyes welled up. He had been quietly struggling, working double shifts, saving for his daughter's school fees, and trying not to let anyone see how hard things were. When Samantha appeared at his desk later, he tried to speak, but his voice trembled. "Ms. Lawson, I don't know what to say." She smiled gently. "Say thank you by continuing to be the person you already are. You reminded me that kindness doesn't flow from the top down, it flows from the heart." From that day on, things changed at Lawson Enterprises. Samantha started a new company initiative called the Ripple Program, where employees could nominate coworkers who showed small acts of kindness. Every month, the company would match those acts with donations to local charities. Daniel became one of the program's coordinators, helping to organize volunteer days and mentorship opportunities for single parents in the workplace. The company culture shifted. People smiled more. They helped one another. They shared meals instead of working through lunch. And Samantha? She began to truly see her employees, not as workers, but as human beings. She started leaving her office door open, listening to people's stories, asking how they were really doing. Months later, at the company's annual awards dinner, Samantha took the stage. The ballroom was filled with laughter and warmth. She looked out into the crowd, her gaze landing on Daniel and his little daughter, who was sitting proudly at his side. Samantha took a deep breath. "Tonight," she began, "I want to tell you all a story. About a night I pretended to be asleep. The room went quiet. I wanted to test someone, to see what they'd do when they thought no one was watching. But instead, that person tested me. He reminded me that leadership isn't about power or control. It's about kindness. It's about the quiet moments when you choose compassion over judgment." Daniel looked down, humbled, as the room erupted in applause. After the event, his daughter ran up to Samantha. "Thank you for helping my dad," she said with a shy smile. Samantha knelt down and smiled back. "Actually, sweetheart, your dad helped me." That night, as the city lights twinkled beyond the windows of the same tall glass tower, Samantha sat at her desk again, this time, not with exhaustion, but gratitude. She glanced at the $20 bill she'd framed on her wall. Beneath it was the note that started it all: "You do so much for everyone else. Don't forget to rest. The world still needs your light." She whispered softly to herself, and it still does. Kindness doesn't always come from grand gestures or deep pockets. Sometimes it's a small note, a quiet moment, or a $20 bill that changes everything. When we lead with compassion, we create ripples that touch lives we may never even see. So, if this story moved you, let it be your reminder: someone out there needs your light today. Be kind. Pay it forward. And never underestimate the power of a small act done with a big heart. Thank you for watching Kindness in Action. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share if this story inspired you. Because when kindness spreads, the world becomes a little brighter for us all.